Thank you very much. We thought it was necessary to give a comprehensive report on the state of security of the country, so that not only those of us who are resident in Dominica can have an appreciation for the security of the state, but those of you who live out of Dominica can be reassured that the security state is intact. There were some incidents, and we have put them in place. And I saw the police in action last night when we got word that there was going to be a break-in at the prisons, and the efficiency of the movement of the police last night was exceptional. I was able to witness it myself. I was still at the office last night, but I've been after 8 or so, thereabout, and we have been able to apprehend 2 of the 3, and I have 2 of the 4. I have no doubt we will capture the 2 others before night falls today. Just to say to the country, we will have a daily briefing at 10 a.m. every day to update you and to provide information to the general public on the relief efforts and the various communities, and possibly at 7 p.m. at night. I don't want to commit to 7 p.m. at night, but certainly the 10 a.m. and we will bring in different personnel who are in charge of various aspects of the recovery efforts to update us on where we are with regards to this, regards to our response to the hurricane. The names of the deceased and missing will be posted, if not today, certainly by tomorrow, so that those of us who want to know who are the deceased and who are the missing people can have that information. And I'm sure that information will cause many of us to be less anxious in respect to our relatives and friends. We are saddened by the loss of life, but the extent of the destruction of this country, we are very, very fortunate that we do not have hundreds, if not thousands, of deaths in this country. Very, very fortunate. So while we are saddened by the loss of life, we want to thank God for sparing so many of our citizens. I want to say to the country and to the rest of you who are listening to us that every single community, every single family, every single home, every single street in Dominica will be reached by the authorities in providing supplies to them. Our clear instruction is for the equitable, non-discriminatory distribution of supplies. That is the instruction. Once we can take care of the entire communities, we will, in the same way, we will send personnel to the homes of the senior citizens to ensure that those who cannot come to the central point of distribution are receiving. And you heard what has happened in Portsmouth, and the same is happening in many communities where the residents are reaching out to the sick, reaching out to the elderly, and ensuring that they have water and they have supplies. So once you let us know somebody who hasn't received, we will gather information, and we assure you we will send the people out to get those really full. So we are continuing the assault today on providing supplies. We have lots of supplies coming in today and tomorrow and the rest of the week, and as we get them, we're not going to store them. The instructions from myself is do not store any food at any stage. We need to get food to the people and water throughout the day and throughout the week. I want to reiterate to the country that we will not tolerate any kind of lawlessness whatsoever. Any kind of lawlessness whatsoever. We need to minimize on this to allow the police to assist in bringing relief supplies to the various communities. So that's what they really want to have the police provide. In respect to the curfew is from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. next day. We will review the curfew as we go. On this matter, I will be advised exclusively by the Chief of Police and the commander of the RSS forces here, who will advise myself on the curfew hours. Whatever advice they provide to me, I will provide that advice to His Excellency the President who will make the appropriate adjustments where necessary. But that matter is exclusively in the purview of the chief of police, who has the responsibility of overseeing the security of the state. So we will rely on them to advise us on this. The curfew can go away tomorrow, next day, once people behave themselves. Once we get a sense people behaving themselves, it will be lifted immediately. We really do not want to have a curfew on because we like people to be out cleaning and helping and so forth. But we have issues to deal with and so forth. Tomorrow, we received the visit of the President of the Regional Council, Mr. Marijan from Martinique. He came to visit us on Thursday, along with a number of personnel he brought in to assist, and also supplies. We want to thank him for his visit. Tomorrow we shall receive the visit. We shall receive the chairman of CARICOM, Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. Keith Mitchell, and also the Prime Minister of Barbados, who will come visit us to express their solidarity and sympathies with us and so forth. These visits are important. We welcome them because it adds to the hope and the calmness of the people that we're not alone in this struggle. We have friends near and far who are prepared, who are assisting us, and who continue to do so. We have ordered a galvanized rolling machine to come in. Hopefully it will be there by the end of the week, thereabout, to assist with rolling out sheets of galvanized to help people cover their homes, albeit in a temporary fashion, because a lot of the homes will require some structural assessment to ascertain the structural soundness of the buildings. But we need to address the issue of shelter, and if we can create that kind of temporary arrangement, it will reduce on the anxiety of the people. So I'm hoping that we can get this machine by the end of the week and start rolling out galvanized sheeting to help people recover their homes as quickly as possible. We will also procure all of the building materials from the suppliers in Dominica to assist residents with 2x4s and 4x4s and nails and screws, so they can provide the labor and help themselves in providing temporary shelter. Carnival cruise lines have been exceptional. Royal Caribbean, all of the cruise lines calling in Dominica have been exceptional. They have made a commitment of 1,000 igloos. 1,000 igloos. That each igloo can house about 4 people. So you can place them in the communities where people can find a warm place to sleep, a dry place to sleep in a temporary fashion. We will get 150 on the 3rd of October. 150 of those on the 3rd of October, an additional 850 in the next week or so. That 850 is in the state of Georgia, and the Carnival cruisers are seeking to get them across to Miami and then shipped to Dominica. So the 150 will be first on the 3rd of October, so we can pass it on to the various communities to assist with some comfort and away from the elements and so forth. But as I said again, just to repeat, yesterday, today, day after is a massive onslaught on distribution of supplies, and we have deployed teams to the port in Portsmouth. I sent the manager there this morning to ascertain that everything is in place. He will call in the security personnel. The police will assist us with security there. We have teams in Portsmouth who will assist with offloading and taking these supplies all the way to Capuchin and all the way to Calibishie, all the way to Penville, and all the way to Collyho, those northern communities. And then the supplies at Douglas Charles will go all the way to the Kalnago territory, to Cassie Bruce. So, we have planes going to Saint-Sauveur to take supplies to Saint-Sauveur and Petit-Soufrière, because Petit-Soufrière has some challenges there, and Good Hope. So we're taking supplies to Granby, and that will be transported to Tetmon and Montine and all those communities, Pichelay. So we're really seeking to launch an offensive on this, and the supplies will come to Roseau will be for the western communities, Roseau, Point Michel, Soufrière. We're sending boats into Soufrière and Scottshead, And today we'll be sending quite a number of boats to Soufriere and Scott said to bring in water and food supplies. So every community will be targeted. As I said, we have caused and allowed the Palestinians to be stationed in Marigot, and they're providing tremendous supplies. And the report that I have gotten from there is that people are really getting fed, people are getting supplies and water and the likes and so forth. All of the helicopters are assisting us from Venezuela, from government of Trinidad, the British, the French, the Dutch. They're helping us in a dramatic way, really, really helpful. These pilots, these operators are in this. There's a passion, there's a commitment to doing it. They're pushing the envelope, and ensuring that they can cover as many communities as possible during the day, and so forth. So we get in this. Once we can get electricity up in some communities, it will enhance our ability to address some of the concerns of the people. I want all of us to understand, and especially those out of the country, the entire country was hit. It is not only Rosa that was hit, and so we have the rest of the country to assist. It's not only Penville Vega that was hit, or Portsmouth. Every single village, as a matter of fact, every single street in Dominica was impacted by this hurricane. And you have a situation where you do not have the full public service functional, because everybody's home got impacted in one way or the other. If your roof did not go, you got flooding. So everybody was impacted, from the president down to the homeless man was impacted. So everybody got impacted by this hurricane. And people are getting back. They have settled some things. They're able to get some clothes to put to dry, and so they can wear some clothes and so forth. We're all bathing from buckets. We have a cup and we have to pour it over our heads and so forth. So all of us, myself too. I mean, I have a bucket and I take a cup and I pour over myself, and then I get a cowboy, what do you call a cowboy bath. So, I mean, so this is, but we're not complaining. We're not complaining. We have to do what we have to do in the circumstances. This is not a time to complain. It's a time for us to roll up our sleeves, pull our stocks up, recognize that this is not an 8 to 4 job anymore. It is a 24/7 job, and there's firm commitment from many people in this country who recognize that it's a 24/7 job. So we're prepared to do that. So let us minimize or eradicate or stop any negative talk. We don't have time for a negative talk. If you have nothing good to say, nothing constructive to say, keep your mouth shut. Okay? Keep your mouth shut, or keep your fingers off these keypads. What we need is hope. What we need is inspiration. What we need are prayers. What we need is people to encourage us to move forward as a country, so we can rebuild our country and restore the lives of all of us who've been impacted by this. So I wish you all the best. You'll hear from us tomorrow at 10 a.m., God's willing. Hopefully you'll hear from us at 7 p.m. tonight, but we'll give you advance notice. Until such time, let us hold strong. Let us be united in purpose. Let us focus on what you can do, as small as it is. Everything will count, and everything will help in the restoration process. But there is a firm commitment from all of us to do what we have to do to rebuild our country. But we have to take it step by step. This is a daunting task. It is a humongous challenge. Okay, a humongous challenge. But I believe that once there is unity in purpose, once we remain positive, we can get things moving. So I want to thank the Chief of Police and the Deputy Commissioner of the Royal Antigua and Barbuda Police Force, and the Gazette officers here, the media for your diligence, Dr. McIntyre who is here, P.S. Edwards, been diligent, and all of the people who've been volunteering, the media, we thank you for passing information to the public, and all of us out there who are volunteering in one way or the other, people who are clearing the streets. I mean, for example, in Cochrane, the people restored the water themselves. Though we had a heavy equipment, but people were clearing, taking out the logs. And that's what we want. That's what we want. If we have that, we're going to go places. We heard what happened in Portsmouth. People came forward, the police, the PAL rep, the volunteers, residents came forward, restored the water in Glanville, got water to the senior citizens, got packages to the senior citizens and children. So this is what we have to do to move the country forward. I will give the media an opportunity to ask a few questions, because we have to go out in the field to do the work and so forth. So 5 minutes for questions, we'll move it forward. Keep your question very short, one question per person, no statement.
PM, I have two. One question. All right, PM, I know it's a little bit premature, but can you provide us with a dollar value on the damages?
What we have done is that I have invited the World Bank and the Caribbean Development Bank and UN ECLAC in conjunction with the OECS Commission to come in to do independent assessments. So these teams are here, some of them are on the way. They will do an independent assessment and they will advise the government and indeed the world of the impact of this hurricane on our country. But I can say to you, as you know, you've seen, and I've seen the entire country, I've been to many communities. Yeah, I mean, it's a devastating thing. As I said, 100% of our agriculture gone. And in respect to agriculture, I can tell you as of next week, I want people to start planting. We're going to start planting. We're going to start harvesting some of the banana plants that survive. Let us get back. We'll provide you with support. So we're going to order seedlings and seeds for farmers. Let's plant peas. Let's plant cucumbers. Let's plant lettuce and the short-term crops so we can start feeding ourselves with the important crops and so on. So we're going to start planting almost immediately from next week, once we can get the supplies out and people can address their shelters temporarily. Okay, one question.
Yes, Prime Minister, there's been some concern and conflicting information about people's ability to send personal items to their family. Please provide some clarity.
We have absolutely no difficulty for family and friends overseas to send supplies to family and friends in Dominica. We have no problem with that. As a matter of fact, we're encouraging it. What we're saying to everybody, let us wait for some time, because we do not have the infrastructure in place at the ports to deal with the individual packages, because you need customs to clear it, you need the port to clear it. And to have 500-600 people at the port trying to get a little package here and there is going to create a confusion and it's going to be chaotic. And the worst thing I want, because, I mean, you know Dominicans very well. I mean, we have to joke about ourselves when we speak and so on. The worst thing I want is for somebody to stay in America and say, well, somebody steal my package in Dominica, I sent for my mother and so forth. So I'm saying this week it is for national relief efforts. It is about everybody. So if you're sending a package, you send it to the Office of Disaster Management, attention Fitzroy Pascal, or the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of National Security. So later on, we will inform the world when you can start sending the packages. The customs officers are coming back to work slowly. Some of them are at work now. We have the port officers come back at work. So once we get people on their feet, people have gotten over the shock that all of us have suffered, and people know where the children are sleeping and it's dry, then we can start receiving those private packages. So let's understand this and be patient and be understanding that we will accept private packages, but not now. If it comes, we cannot guarantee you that we will get it to your relative. It may just stay on the port, or it may, so I don't want anybody to accuse us, because in this disaster, there'll be a lot of pointing of supplies and who didn't get and who got. And so our view is this: let's focus on the delivery of supplies to the nation of Dominica, and then we can deal with the private supplies of it. Yeah, one question. Next, Fadul, please.
Minister, my question is not to you, but more to the police officials. In terms of traffic, I wanted to ask the police officials whether or not they found it prudent to still allow traffic to come into the city, because we experienced some serious congestion coming in.
What we have said to the public, we do not want to unduly curtail the movement of people, because we understand somebody may come from Mao, he has a relative in Point Michel, he wants to go and see what happened to that relative. Somebody may live in the valley, he has somebody in Fokoli, he want to go and see. So we understand these things. What we're saying to people, that if you have no business driving around, stop the driving. Not only that, but we use the little diesel that you have in your vehicle wisely. Go in and drive around and sightseeing, and then your vehicle gets stalled in Roseau. It doesn't make sense, because we have had situations where we cannot get essential services out to meet people who are in desperate need of help, because there are too many vehicles and too many people on the streets. What we should be doing now, if we have no business being out of our communities, is clearing the roads, to get our cutlasses, cut the branches, put them on the side. We will send people to pick them up. Get the galvanized, put them in one section. Get the wood, put them in one section. We will get those equipment to come in and take them. Because in respect to the alu zinc and the galvanized, we have a machine in Dominica that can crush this galvanized to almost the size of a corn beef tin. So that we'll put it on a badge and ship it out for recycling purposes and so forth. And so we'll have one location. We will announce these locations, hopefully today or tomorrow, where people will take them, and the machine will come in to crush these galvanized and alu zinc for us and so forth. So things are happening. You may not hear of it because really we don't have time to talk. We have to be out there getting things going. But we felt it necessary to keep you abreast with the information and let you know what's happening. So I want to thank the police for your efforts and thank all of the people who have been public servants and the private sector people. Let us ensure that we can manage our anxieties, keep things calm, and so forth. In respect to dialysis, for example, we had put on an appeal for dialysis. Somebody heard us, and they have sent us some solar-powered dialysis machines. So people are getting the dialysis treatment in Dominica. So a lot of things are happening. A lot of positive things are happening in response to the hurricane and reaching out to the needs of our people. Thank you, and God bless all our people. God bless our nation. It is now time for working together. It is time for us to clean up and to rebuild our country. And I am confident, with the help of God, with the help of our people, and with the help of the regional and international communities, Dominica shall rise again. Thank you. Okay.